Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, whatever part of the world you are in. I'm Kathy Lean. If you can hear me, see me, give me a thumbs up and let me know that the audio and visual are coming in good. Let me know everything's coming through, my friends. There's a lot to talk about this week, so I'm very excited to get started with all of you. So let me know if everything's coming through and everything's looking good. Let's see. And say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning from Spain, Miss Aitor. Good morning from New Jersey, Tony. Good morning, everyone. And Peter and Sharif and Preetvat. Wonderful. Bob. So many of you here from, all these different places. Michigan, wow. It's cold in New York today. I can imagine just how cold it's in Michigan or Switzerland. Today it's, 9 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And so it's definitely, there's snow on the ground. So while it's very, very hot, as cold in New York, the markets though are hot. Stocks, gold, definitely, really on fire this morning. And we are going to talk about all that. Hello, Spiral from the Philippines, Richard from Tampa, Naomi from Vietnam. I know it's not cold where you are. Eagle from Uganda. I am so happy to see all of you here. By the way, we are doing something very, very special this morning. And, we're basically going to, we're going to talk about how the markets are going, but we're also going to raffle out the $450,000 worth of prop trading challenges that we have. So if you have not, we're going to do this live. If you have not registered for our giveaway, make sure that you do so. I'm going to pop on the link. It's, incredible prizes that we have this morning. So if you have not already registered, make sure you do, because we are going to be raffling all of this live, and lots of really great opportunities, live in the markets to win a piece of the $450,000 in prop challenges that we have this morning. So make sure you do that. It's completely free to enter, so no reason why you shouldn't be entering. That's the link right there. I'll share with you my screen real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. We already have 6,000 people registered. There are not 6,000 people here, but they should be, right? Because we are going to be doing the raffle live. Today, the way it's going to work is I'm going to give you the rundown of what to expect in the markets this week. I'm going to talk about what's going on in gold, how to trade gold at these, pretty much record high levels. We're going to do the raffle. Then Boris is going to roll into live trading. So it's a very, Mondays are our favorite sessions. It's, definitely a lot of opportunity. But as I said, if you haven't registered already, we're going to be raffling this live. So make sure you click that link that I put into the chat to make sure that you participate in this, because you could win one of these 20 prizes. So there's 20 opportunities to win. So make sure you go ahead and do that. All right. So once again, the link says the raffle has ended. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. The raffle, you're right. The participation in the raffle has ended. That ended last night, but we're raffling it live this morning. So I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. I thought there was still some opportunity, but for those of you that 6,000 of you that registered for the raffle, you'll get the opportunity to enter this morning. All right, so we've got a lot going on this week. As you may know, this is the last big trading week of the year. And markets, like I said, are hot, hot, hot. So what do we like to do on Mondays? On Mondays, we like to create our list of, the things that we need to be watching for, because I believe that the markets reward the prepared, and it's extraordinarily important for you to be prepared for what could happen to the markets. And many of you have gotten a lot of emails and messages about, Kathy, gold is a record high. How in the world am I supposed to trade this? We're going to talk about that. And how gold moves is very much dictated on what happens in the markets, and also what happens this week as well. So make sure that you are aware of all of the big event risk. So I'm going to have you help me, as I always like, to build the list of what is moving the market. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share with you my screen. Give me 1 second to share with you my screen. And 1 second, I'm going to share with you my screen again. That's not the screen I want to share. Okay, I'm going to share with you my screen. All right, you should be seeing my gold chart. So this is my chart of gold. This is 1 hour. We don't need to be on 1 hour. We're on the daily chart of gold. This is gold, the CFD. This is gold MGC, micro gold, both, pretty much hovering right at record highs. And it's pretty much there. This looks like, a nice, beautiful cup and handle formation, whatever you want to call it. But, we are pretty much there. And, let me see if I can get my line going here. I had this problem last week about why I couldn't get my horizontal line forming. Well, it's okay. Anyway, oh, there it is. It's because my color is black and my screen is black. Let's see where to make it white. There we go. So that is the record high. Although some people say that today it will hit a record high. I think it depends upon the instrument. Either way, gold is on fire. Now, I want you, for those of you who's been in my room for a while, to take a wild guess. Why is gold at a record high? What is driving this move? Wild guesses. Let me know if you know. Why is gold? Here's the big question. Why is gold at a or near eyeing record high? All right. Type into the chat. Why do you think gold is eyeing a record high? Let's see if anyone is aware, anyone knows. Because in order to answer the question about how much higher can it go, we've got to understand what's driving this move. And so I've got some great answers here. Fed rate cuts from Spiral Capital, world events from Ben, dollar weakness from AMB Pips. Also, Zamantam is also dollar weakless. You guys are paying attention. These are all the reasons why we have gold at a record high, because, the most important thing to know about gold is that it is priced in US dollars. So when you have the dollar falling, when you have US yields, you look at my right-hand corner, these are my yields, 2-year yields, 10-year yields, both down. When you have dollar down, and you have yields down, that is the key driver of gold at record highs. And of course, we've got geopolitical uncertainty, but the main thing I would have to say is also the Fed rate cuts, the Fed QE. Last week, the Federal Reserve, they cut interest rates. Many of you participated in our FOMC live train. There was more than 2,000 of you, which I was blown away by. And, we saw real time, Fed cut interest rates, but they also announced a $40 billion bond buying program. So it was massive. And that overshadowed the kind of quote unquote hawkish cut by the Federal Reserve. Led yields lower, led dollar lower. Now, one of the most important things I think you need to realize about all of this is that, we may have a fundamental opinion, a fundamental view, but it's really not, we've got to respect the price action. That was the main takeaway from the FOMC live trading, which is that we may have an opinion, but we have to respect the fact that after FOMC, despite the hawkish cut, despite the only one rate despite the only one rate cut expected next year. The market interpreted this to be dollar bearish, interpreted this to be yields bearish, which in turn drove not only gold towards its record highs, but also the Dow hit a record high on the back of this. So the market thinks that it is dollar bearish, gold bullish, and we've got to respect that. And so unless that story changes and sentiment changes, the trends will go on until it bends. Now, when is the trend bending? This is where the looking at the BK trend meter can be so valuable. You can see, it's is green on the 1 day basis and the 4 hour basis, but in the short term basis, we're seeing a little bit of red, telling us that support we're seeing a little bit of gold nearing resistance levels. Now, resistance levels are very important for gold, and support and resistance in general are very important for gold. It doesn't always break it on the first try easily. So you're starting to see some red on the screen, which tells you that there could be a bit of a shift to the downside. And we may even see this in the EMA meter. Let's see this on the EMA meter. Let's see what we got. We're going to move the EMA meter. We're going to move the EMA meter to the bottom right. And, you can see I watch that it's struggling at these levels. But the EMA meter is still very, very bullish. So right now, I kind of watch these intraday to see how things are going. So why is gold eyeing a record high? Now, we already talked about why gold is record high, which is that the dollar's falling, yields are falling. So the next question to ask about whether gold will hit new record highs is not too far from here is, will the dollar continue to fall, right? That's the big question. And the answer to whether gold is going to continue to rally, which is will dollar continue to fall? Now, to answer that question, what are the big events on this week's calendar? What are the big events? All right. Now, I want you guys to help me build out this calendar so you know what the big events are. Big events, there we go. Some of you are already talking. Non-farm payrolls. We have non-farm payrolls coming out. We have the U.S. inflation CPI report. We have, what else do we have? We have 2 retail sales reports. We have the October and the November retail sales reports. The October retail sales reports, when you look at the calendar, is going to be released on the exact same day as the non-farm payrolls report. But the November one, which I guess is more important because it's more current, is going to be released on Wednesday. So we've got, 2 retail sales report, the non-farm payrolls report, the inflation reports. We also have, other big events is we have 3 central bank rate decisions. What else? We also have, you're right, we also have jobless claims and ADP, which is always more important these days. We have we have quad witching. We have PMIs from so many different countries. Some of you may not know what PMIs are, but PMIs are kind of the most up-to-date piece of data that you have from any country. And so I love to look at the PMIs. So the PMIs will also be released from many, many countries. Today, we have inflation data. We have a whole host of data from Canada, a lot of data from UK and Canada. But the question of, will gold continue to rally hinges really upon just the U.S. economic reports. It's just going to be non-farm payrolls. It's just going to be the inflation report. It's just going to be the retail sales report. It may be the jobless claims and ADP. All of that is the primary driver of whether gold is going to continue to rally. Now, based upon the price action, the fact that U.S. dollar is down today for the most part, the fact that U.S. yields are down today, the fact that stock futures are up today, tells us that the market or traders are not necessarily positioning for good numbers. They think the numbers are going to be okay, I think is the best way to put it. They think that the numbers will be fine, and we're not going to see, a tremendous amount of positivity, but we're not going to see really ugly numbers either. Taking a look at this, it is clear that the market thinks that non-farm payrolls is probably going to be not so bad, right? Because with the jobless claims, some numbers have been good, some numbers have been bad. The ADP numbers haven't been great, but overall, even according to Powell, they don't think the numbers are going to be disastrous. Number two, inflation. This is very interesting because inflation is actually rising in many other countries. So much so that those countries are starting to talk about raising interest rates, floating the idea. The market speculated that RBA could raise interest rates next year. Maybe the ECB could raise interest rates next year. But for the US, inflationary pressures are actually expected to be either steady or maybe even coming a bit to the downside. So all of that is something that the market is watching. All of that is something that I think everyone is paying attention to, and could very much be a situation where the U.S. inflation report could actually surprise to the downside. And if the U.S. inflation report ends up surprising to the downside, that is the piece of the puzzle that could explain the drop in yields, the drop in the US dollar, the rally in stocks. So in many ways, I think that this is the number one event risk on this week's calendar. And the US inflation report comes out on Thursday. So, from the week, we got a lot going on. Today, we have nothing going on. We have the Empire State Manufacturing Index, which was released earlier this morning. And, the Empire State Manufacturing Index is always interesting, but, it's not necessarily the biggest market mover. And it came out weaker, which, compounded the moves we've seen already. Then tomorrow, Tuesday, we've got the NFP, and we've got the retail sales report for October. Then Wednesday, we have the retail sales report for November. Then Thursday, we get to the U.S. inflation report. So there's a lot of buildup to that. This is in many ways the last big trading week of the year because pretty much, all the big data is going to be released, and the market goes into consolidation mode. And although, sometimes we have the Santa Claus rally, but at the end of the day, participation is going to be a lot less. So the moves may end up, being not as significant. So these are the big events to watch this week. So if we get decent, okay, non-farm payrolls, not awesome, not amazing non-farm. I don't think any of us thinks that non-farm payrolls are going to be unbelievably strong. If that's the case, the gold could continue to rally. If retail sales are okay, because Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales weren't bad, that gold could, hold steady, maybe it'll improve a little bit, but and that could pull it a little bit back. But I think that traders will really see it as an opportunity to buy on dips rather than sell on rallies, particularly if we get to like this level here in gold, the former breakout point. It could come down here, retest it, come as an opportunity to buy again to the upside. And then in addition to that, it's all up to the inflation report. If the inflation report shows prices in the US actually not rising, then we could be in a situation where gold, does head towards 4,500, maybe even higher. With gold, it is a extraordinarily trending asset. And given that it's a trending asset, that is why, you want to stick with the trend until, it actually fades. And, that's just a matter of using some of your indicators to make sure, for example, I love to use, you may or may not know, I love to use moving averages, which is how the moving average SMA meter is built. So with my moving averages on a short-term basis, basically, if we're above, the 20, you can stay long above the 20 at the stop at the 50 SMA. The yellow line's the 20, the blue line's the 50. So perhaps you can stay, in the trade until it actually starts to reverse. Now, in terms of gold, keep an eye. Data is obviously very, very important. So you want to make sure that you can buy the pullbacks as long as the data kind of reinforces it. And you want to manage risk tightly. With gold, since it's such a trending instrument, just trail your stop, but maybe trail it using either 20 SMA, or I like to trail it using, well, the 5's a little tighter. I like to trail it using the 8 EMA. So you could trail it using the 8 EMA, for example. Let's see if we can pop up the EMA here. And I'm going to make it a white line. So let's see, white. So trailing by the 8, a close below the 8 could be a nice way to trail it. But 20 probably gives you the most breathing room. Trail your stop, let it run, because it can really get higher. But as it nears here, it's probably not going to break this. There's a very low chance it's going to break this cleanly. It's probably going to break it a little bit, come back down and break it again, because those key levels are very, very important. But at the end of the day, keep an eye on the data, because that is going to be the most important part of trading gold. Now, what about stocks? MNQ is trading very differently from the Dow. Dow is much stronger than MNQ, than ES, because of course, that, those two indices are being dragged down by some of the tech names, whereas the Dow is seeing more of the gains. Same story. It's all based upon, yields. Is yields going to remain low or start to move higher off of the data that we have this week? Right now, if we bring in our meters, you'll see that it's still quite bullish short-term basis. ES still quite bullish. In this sense, it's going to remain bullish to me. And then MNQ is probably very, on the longer term, it seems a little bearish, but on the shorter term basis, it's turning bullish. And then with YM, I'm certain that YM is all green on the screen. Many of you are asking, how can I get these meters? You can get these meters completely free if you purchase if you're a BK member, or you purchase a prop trading challenge with either our sponsors, either Think Capital or Breakout Prop or DNA, and not Apex, because Apex is too cheap right now. But Think Capital is really, really great for trading, CFDs, Forex. They've got a 30% off. You can use the code Xmas, but make sure you use our link. Boris will drop the link. It's like bit.ly think_BK. Make sure you use our link and you get 30% off. And if you get a payout, they even give you a free 10,000 account. Breakout is the #1 highest rated prop firm for crypto. According to Prop Firm Match, they really are the best. And instead of losing, $1,000-$2,000 in crypto, if you're trading in a standard account, you can buy their challenge, and for like as little as $50. And they're partnering with a lot of people. You can see people getting funded in 2 days. For 2 days, over 7,000 in payouts. On-demand payouts, no consistency rules, no minimum trading days. This is the reason why Breakout never offer any discount whatsoever. It is the only way you should be trading crypto, because they are hands down the #1 crypto prop firm. We only partner with the best. Those are the ones that we recommend. And with all of this, you also get our free BK trend meters if you forward us your receipts. So we talked about the US data. We talked about how it could surprise. We talked about how it could impact stock indices and gold. But what about the dollar? Euro is going to be different from dollar yen. Dollar yen's got the Bank of Japan rate decision. We have the European Central Bank rate decision. Dollar yen to the downside, I think, could be a really nice opportunity this week. The yen is strong across the board. I think it's only going to get stronger. I really like euro yen to the downside, for example, because first of all, this is one of those like almost quasi engulfing candles where it could move lower. You could start to see the BK trend meters moving lower. Why in the world is the yen? Why do I like buying the yen this week? Because why is the yen up? Very easy answer. #1 and one reason only, which is the BOJ is expected to hike rates this year. And, many of you have worried, dollar yen was so high. Why in the world, why in the world have they not verbally intervened, physically intervened? Because they know that intervention doesn't work. Intervention doesn't work, and it's temporary. In many ways, you can view it as a waste of money. So instead, what has worked in the past was basically interest rate hikes. And so they are going to lean, if they want the yen to rally and they want the yen to stop falling, then they basically need to raise interest rates, and that is why the market thinks that they are going to raise interest rates. And so given that they think that it's going to raise interest rates, I think there's a very, very good chance that we're going to see further yen strength. Okay, when is the BOJ rate decision? The BOJ rate decision, let me look at my calendar, is at the ends of the week. It's basically Friday morning. So that creates a lot of opportunity for us because Friday morning is the last BOJ rate decision. I always like to build these tables for central bank rate decisions. Let me pull this in Japan, and then I'll show you the price action. So Japan, look at this. At a glance, do you see more green or red? Type into the chat box. Do you see more green or do you see more red on the screen? I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Let me know if you see more green or red. It should be a very, very easy answer for you. So clearly, there is more green, like many of you said, there's more green on the screen than red. Very, very good observation. Indicates to you just at a glance that overall, the Japanese economy has improved since the last policy meeting in October. Retail sales is up, household spending down a little bit, but retail sales is up. Labor market is mixed, but inflation is up. Inflation is too hot. 3% is way too hot. Every central bank likes inflation around 2%. This is only going in the wrong direction. Eco Watcher survey is up, tin cans down, but overall green on the screen for the most part. So that is a fundamental justification for an interest rate hike from Japan. Now, how, some of you are asking, what does this mean? Could we trade this? Well, let's take a look. Last time the Bank of Japan raised interest rates was in 2024, in July of 2024. July of 2024, we're going to go back. We're going to see how did dollar yen trade. So July 2024, July 31st was the rate cut. So where's my arrow? Let's remove all the SMAs or hide them. All right, now I'm going to bring in my arrow. This is the candle. So this was when the Bank of Japan delivered their last interest rate hike. That was on July 31st. Now, it's kind of different from now in the sense that right now what we are seeing is that dollar yen is moving down a little bit, but back then dollar yen had a consistent downtrend. Right now we're moving down. We're kind of like over here so that we didn't already have some of the move to price in. But even that in that situation where the market was already pricing in the BOJ rate hike, when they hiked, boom. I mean, this candle is what? This candle is 430 pips. So 430 pips in one day with a significant amount of continuation. So some of you are asking, what do you think that, dollar yen would be a good long trade? Why would I think dollar yen would be a good long trade? I think that they are, perhaps you're right. Perhaps you have a reason for that and you want to give it. But the Bank of Japan is expected to raise interest rates. Of course, if they do not, then yes, dollar yen would be a fantastic long trade because the market is on the wrong side of that. But if they do, just because it moves doesn't mean that there's not going to be more room to the downside, especially since the market hasn't quite priced it in. We're up here in the dollar yen chart, not down here. So we're like up here. We're just beginning to correct. We're at 155. The recent high in dollar yen was 157 and change. So only 200 pips from the high. And so this one, before the rate decision, the high was 160-170, and it went about basically almost 900 pips. So we're like over here. So we got plenty of room to drop if they do raise interest rates. Now, some of you asking, what's going on? What's the correlation from MNQ? I love the way you are thinking because, we love to talk about correlations. We love to talk about, how this could impact the other markets. And look at this. This is MNQ. The blue line is MNQ. And the candles are dollar yen. Now, okay. It's not like what happens in Japan really impacts what happens in the NASDAQ. It's oftentimes the reverse. What happens in the US stock market could impact what happens in the Japanese yen. Because if you think about it, if we have a massive liquidation event where traders are liquidating stocks a lot, then that's going to drive dollar yen lower. It's going to be a factor that ends up driving dollar yen lower. But if it is a situation where it's just the Bank of Japan raising interest rates, I don't think that you can make a connection and say that the Japanese raising interest rates is going to lead to the NASDAQ falling. Even though it did, it rallied in the day of the rate decision, then it sold off. I would not say that this is because of something Japan did. Very good question. What is MNQ? That's the NASDAQ, the micro NASDAQ futures. If you're trading gold, you're trading Forex, Think Capital is who you want to trade with. They are backed by Think Markets. They're the only ones that trade directly on TradingView, and they give you a demo account for free. So you can learn how to trade. And they have a lot of different tools. They're backed by one of the biggest brokers in Australia, 30% off. You can use the code XMIS, but make sure you use this link because this is the only way that you're going to get our free tools. I don't know where the link went. Maybe we can, here it is. It's just bit.ly think_BK. Make sure you use this link because that is the only way that you are going to get our BK trend meters for free. All right. So someone asked a question. Martin asked, do you feel inflation is entrenched in prices services and the Fed have to cut rates too quickly? Next year, we're going to be talking about interest rate hikes from a lot of countries. And the Fed, will be, think about politically what's happening. They're trying to install a Fed chairman that is going to be in favor of more rate cuts, less rate hikes. And, Trump, his validation is really what the markets are doing. So he's going to do everything in his power to keep stocks supported, which one way would be strong arming the Fed to keep interest rates low. Maybe he can't get them to cut too aggressively, but he could certainly maybe strong arm them and prevent them from raising interest rates. So I do not think that it's going to halt the rally. Do you think, Johnny Boy asked, do you think it's better to stay out from December? There's plenty of action that we could trade in December. I think that there's a lot of opportunity this week. I think the last 2 weeks of December is going to be a lot more treacherous. Like, for example, we're just looking at Forex, right? Let's look at, we do have the Santa Claus rally. So you can see, all right, what is this? This is December 31st. So pretty much the last from Friday, from the 20th to the 31st. So that's like what, 11 days, right? Consolidation, no extension. The week before, which is this week, we get the oomph. This week where we get the momentum, then consolidation in dollar yen. NASDAQ, same story. We get the oomph, and then we get corrections, but with quick recoveries as well, which is this volatility can psych a lot of traders out who try to buy the dip or whatever it is. You get the nice trend right before a NASDAQ beforehand, and then consolidation. Gold, let's see what happened in gold in 2024. Gold is the candle. So gold is the candle, 2024. Let's see. Same story. 12th. Today is the 15th. Pretty much we get bigger moves. It stops pretty much at the 20th. Consolidation, nothing going on until everyone comes back on Monday. That's when things kicking. So that's a very good question, Johnny. I talk often, all the time, about knowing when to trade and when not to trade. And therefore, I have shown you that the last 2 weeks of December are oftentimes range bound. If you're a range trader, that could be a great opportunity. But if you are a trend trader, chances are you're not going to get the trends. This week, we have quite a bit of opportunity, and there'll be plenty of data and action and everything, although you have to trade carefully because it's really data driven. I am going to be very cautious. For me, it's really more about back of the week trading than front of the week trading. But I think that this is the last week we'll have opportunity before we move into the grinds, the range trading. And if you're a range trader, you could, buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. But if you're looking for breakout moves, like opening range breakout traders that you may not necessarily get that, in my opinion. We'll have to see. Every year is different. There could be surprises, but that's what I think. All right. Aside from Japan, Japan's expected to raise interest rates, but we also have the UK. The UK is expected to cut interest rates. They're actually expected to cut interest rates. And let me pull up the table and show you what's going on with the UK. Let me see if I can pull up the table. Let's see which one's which. I'll show you the Eurozone for now while I'm trying to pull up the UK. Eurozone, you can see that Eurozone, for the most part, the market expects, no change in interest rates at the last meeting of the year, because there's just as much green as there is red. Retail sales hasn't been doing so great, but some of the business indicators like ZOO, IFO has been doing good. This week, the ECB rate decision will probably take a back seat to the PMIs. The PMIs are very, very important. They give us a real look, more of a kind of quasi real-time look at how the economy is doing. And there's a good chance that those numbers will show a little bit of strength, I think. We'll have to see. But those will be very, very important. And then the Bank of England, look at this. What do you see? Complete opposite from Japan. Japan had a sea of green, UK has a sea of red. So this explains why the Bank of England is expected to cut interest rates this week. So retail sales expect to be cut. Retail sales have been lower. Employment numbers have been lower. Inflation has been lower. Pretty much a lot of red on the screen. Now, we do have a lot of UK data this week. We have UK inflation. We have the fresh jobs report, the inflation report, all happening as well. And then we also have the Bank of England rate decision. The data will come out before the BOE rate decision. But either way, I think everyone's convinced they're going to cut interest rates. So if we take a look at the pound has been quite strong. But once these BK trend meters start to turn more bearish, especially in the 15-minute, 1-hour basis, I am going to be looking to sell this. I'm going to be looking for a downside move in British pound. So I think that, you're starting to see some of the trend meters start to turn red. I think that, it's going to tell us that there's going to be a potential move lower. So there's a lot of events. This is not it. We also have, New Zealand GDP numbers. We don't have much. We have Australian PMIs tonight. We just had the Canadian inflation numbers that were released this morning. You can see that the loonie is flat, but the CAD inflation data was good. So the CAD inflation data is good, but it's oversold. It's oversold. The BK trend meter is turning bullish. It means that we're not going to necessarily get an upside. Looks to me that we're going to get more upside in dollar CAD and not the Canadian dollar, because the BK trend meters are turning positive. So that's important to watch. With Bitcoin, you can see that we're still quite bearish. Many of you love to trade Bitcoin, and the way to trade it really is through prop, because Bitcoin can be really volatile. No one wants to lose $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 when you can lose just $50-$60 on your prop challenge. So definitely check out Breakout Prop, one of our sponsors. Highest rated 4.8 for crypto prop firm by Prop Firm Match. It's really, they deserve it, because they are truly for payouts, all these traders getting paid out. Use our code BKSAVE and you will get their best discount, and you will also get access to our BK trend meters. So make sure you use all of that, because there's a reason why these traders, they're getting funded in 2 trades, no time limits, no consistency rules, on demand payouts. All right, so we looked at the data, and now let's look at just some key levels in the charts. Question, if you see a lot of green in your do you consider a strong counter? No, I'm a trend trader. If you keep thinking that this is going to stop, then you're wrong. If you think it's green, you want to wait for the trend meters to turn bearish. Like we were talking earlier, and only a couple of them are turned bearish. But I said, this doesn't look so good because it's starting to turn bearish, and you're seeing more of it turn bearish, which suggests that we really could get a pullback If I start seeing the red, that's when I'm going to take the counter trend trade. And that's how you use it. Starts to flash a couple, indicates that we're going to have more, because it's the 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Extraordinarily valuable information. Completely free with the Think Capital account, with a breakout prop account. Our other partner, DNA Markets, is also has really, really great Christmas deal happening. Use our code BKSAVE, and once again, you can get access to the meter. DNA Markets is also broker backed, and they have, I don't know if they have their sale here. I would be surprised if they didn't, but they have an incredible sale right now. I think it's also 30% off. Let's see if they have another account. That could be, I don't know, maybe they have an Instagram account. Let's see. Instagram, DNA Markets.
It's DNA funded. DNA funded.
Oh, DNA funded. Sorry. DNA funded. Look at DNA funded. They're also broker backed, and 30% off. I can't click on it because I'm not logged into my Insta here, but 30% off with BK Save code. You can also use the Xmas30. Make sure you use our link. I'll drop the link later. And all of this gets you access to our BK trend meter. So really, really great. So taking a look at some key levels, euro dollar up and uptrends. We're at this consolidation zone here. ECB meeting this week, lots of data. Right now, I'm still bullish. We're starting to get a little bit of red flags, but we'll have to see. But right now, it still looks like it's to the upside. Dollar yen, bearish. Across many time frames, there's more red than green. I definitely think it's going to move lower. I'm very bearish dollar yen. Dollar Swiss, I don't have much of an opinion on dollar Swiss. It's just consolidating. It's a dollar view. I think that could actually turn higher because I'm not super bearish US data this week. Dollar CAD also showing some indications of turning higher, especially on the BK trend meter. Check later. If it turns green and we end up over here, the BK trend meters are working for you. Pound dollar still very bullish, so you got to stay long until it starts to turn red. Aussie dollar starting to roll over. It's below the 5 SMA. We'll have to see if it closes there. If it closes there, we can get a deeper slide towards 65.75. Kiwi, same stories. Looks pretty bearish to me. Some of the BK trends are positive, but I'm definitely eyeing this. If it closed red like this, you could have some nice trades to the downside. So this is the way currencies look for the week. So, definitely take advantage of some of the data that's happening, because I think there could be a lot of opportunity. Now, for the fun part, I'm going to bring Boris in, who's going to raffle out our prizes. We have 20 prizes that we're giving this morning. And unfortunately, it'll be it's not just going to be the people in this room. We'll announce the winners. And if you're not in the room, we will email you your prizes. So Boris, make sure you keep track of the email that Ron
it's going to automatically give us the emails that we want.
Each of the prizes. So make sure you keep track of them. Who won what. So let's go ahead and put up the raffle.
Hold on just one sec. I just want to make sure I'm on the right.
And as we said earlier, we're raffling off $450,000 worth of prop trading challenges this morning. So hopefully you have registered for the giveaway. And if you're in the room and you win, say me. I want to hear it's you. Type in big letters, me.
So this is the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna press the button and it's gonna be 20 winners that are going to pop up on the screen. I'm gonna read out each one of the winners, and if any one of you says me.
Wait, so hold on. What do you got here, Boris? I'm just looking at the screen. Oh, this is showing everyone's email address. I thought you were
not everybody's email address. Just some. That's the only way I can show the thing. I have to. If you guys want to see it, that's the only way I can.
But can't you make this box really small and just have this little box?
No.
Can't you make have the box show?
Yeah, I can't. Let me just press the button. Let me just do this, okay? So I'm going to choose the winners now, and we're going to see who's going to come up here. So these are the winners. I'm going to read off the names. Jesse,
so the one click gave the winner all of
yes, that's right.
Okay, you know what? So let's let me share the screen. Let me read it because this is far less interesting than and I don't think we should be showing everyone that.
Okay.
So let's look at the prizes instead. Okay.
That's
So, first prize. Who has won the 250,000 futures account? Do you have a name?
Jesse Di Masayo. Okay, let's see if he's won that.
And Jesse DiMasayo, are you in the room? If you are, say me. If not, we are going to email you your winning. Who else is next? Who has won the 100K futures trading challenge?
Okay. Olabode. I was going to be very hard to pronounce his name. Olabode Kehinde.
Oh wait, it's not you, Nico. You can't be Nico. Maybe you are. I don't know. Sorry, Ola. How do you?
Olabode Kehinde has won.
How
Has
do you
won
spell
the
Olabode?
Olabode.
Okay, Olabode. If you are there, you have won the 100K futures trading challenge, and we will email you if you're not in the room. What about the 50,000 futures challenge? Who's won that?
50,000 futures challenge goes to Ali Ahmed.
Okay, Ali Ahmed. Does that look right?
Ahmed.
All right, Ali Ahmed, are you in the room? You're too much, Nico. Ali Ahmed has won the 50K futures trading account. Right. Now, 17 of you are going to win the 5K futures trading challenges. So let's go ahead and see who's won that.
Okay. Starting with Ajit Sahu, Agit Sahu, Sahoo.
Okay, who else?
Nazamo, Nzamo, Ovung, Ovung.
All right, I don't think there's many people named Nazamo. All right, let's keep going.
Then there's Atula.
Like this?
Yeah, ATU. Sorry, ATU.
Okay, Atu. If this is you, say me. All right? None of you are in the room. Let's keep going.
Then there's a very, very complicated name, Joey Dodd.
Joey Dodd.
Joey Dodd. Joey wins the 5,000.
I'm putting his last name because I'm sure there's a lot more Joeys out there than there's Atus. Who else?
Okay. Then there is a really complicated name. It's Sudriyanto. It's Sudariyanto.
Okay, you have won a 5,000 crypto prop challenge.
Right. Then there's Giovanni, Jovanne.
All right, Giovanni. Okay.
Then one of my favorite names, Rolando de la Cruz. It's Rolando. Rolando
de la Cruz. Right? I like that name too. All right.
Now, here come the Americans. Jerome Weinberg. Jerome.
Is it this?
Jerome, like with a J. Yeah, Jerome.
All right. Jerome Weinberg, are you in the room? How many more we got?
A couple of more. We have William Story.
Just like Story?
Story, right?
I like that name.
Yeah, nice
William
name, right?
Story. Anyone else?
Nashiba, Nashiba.
Nashiba. Okay. I also think there's not many Nashibas. So if Nashiba, you're in the room, let me know.
Okay. Then AJAY.
I'm sorry, it's not your name, SMT. We're doing this live. So you saw Boris click the live raffle button. Yeah, if you're the winner, you're the winner.
I did.
Anyone else? I think we probably just have a handful, right?
Yeah, we have just a couple more. Valmiki. I wonder if he's from.
Is that a B or a V?
Sorry, Valmiki. I wonder if that's a Scandinavian name. It's interesting.
It's a nice name. I like this.
Yeah,
it could be Russian,
like name,
maybe.
Right?
Maybe not Russian.
Yeah,
you're Russian.
Not Russian. No, it just sounds Scandinavian. Jake Blade. That's a cool last name.
Wait, what's the name?
Jake Blade.
Blade.
BLAD. Sounds like
oh wow, it doesn't sound real.
Sounds like a comic book character.
Yeah, it does sound like a comic book character.
All right.
We
Oh
probably
my
have
God.
like
This
2 more
this
left,
this
right?
this one is gonna break your fingers. I can't even pronounce it. Lal Ding Lilia. Okay. Laldinliana.
Okay. How
Wow.
many more we got?
Two more. And one more.
Okay.
Sorry.
One
And one
more.
more. And Henato. Henato.
All right. We will email all of you your prizes. And if you have not, you are not unfortunately one of the winners, then you could still take advantage
And
of all the great
go get the
offers.
discounts. Go get the
Yes,
discounts.
yes.
They're cheap right now. This is your Christmas time. Go get them. We're gonna talk a
Yeah,
lot about
Christmas time, end of the year is the best time to buy these prop accounts because they are truly giving the best offers. With the futures accounts, Apex Trader Funding, which Boris will tell you about in just a minute, is like 90% off. This is the best time ever. Crypto, we already talked about this. Breakout prop, funded in 2 days. The top rated crypto prop firm by Prop Firm Match, and it's, you just look on their feed. They're doing incredible. 4 days in September, they've got 300,000 in payouts. Use the code BKSAVE. Email us your receipt, and you'll get access to the BK trend meters. This is Kraken backed, so there's certainly a legitimacy to it. And so definitely check them out.
the world's biggest regulated crypto exchange these days. They're really becoming very, very aggressive in accumulating lots of interesting brokerages. And of course, because of their big umbrella, they're going to try and challenge the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So if you're talking about somebody who's so huge that obviously you're going to have tremendous amount of legitimacy trading with breakout.
Yeah, AJ's in the room. Well, if you're a winner, we'll email you and we'll let you know how to claim it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but wonderful. Okay, so now we've done the raffle, and now we're gonna roll into live trading with Boris.
Before you go, Kay, I just want to let everybody know, super amazing week this week as far as trading. Tomorrow we're going to start 8 o'clock non-farm payrolls. I don't know if Kay's going to make it from me. Kay may not join us, but I will be trading non-farm payrolls with you guys. We're going to try and pass the prop in one single trade. We're going to straddle that account. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that, but I'm going to start half hour beforehand just so that you guys I walk you through the whole strategy, walk you through the preparations. There'll be plenty of time for us to get settled and set up. I'm going to specifically carve out, usually we start 15 minutes ahead. I'm going to carve out half hour tomorrow for everybody to start early. So don't
what about the inflation report on
right. And then Thursday we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do massive trading on Thursday. So it's going to be double mini micro marathon trading this week with macro events. Really excited.
On X, on YouTube. Make sure you join us on these channels. That's where we're going to be streaming the live trading streams.
Exactly.
All right. So any questions for me before we roll to live trading with Boris? Any questions?
Please help me, sir. Okay, we'll try to help you. We'll try to help you with trading. No, sounds good. Thank you so much, Kay, for taking us all the way through. Of course, for showcasing all the great deals that are out
I just want to show you. Breakout prop. We're also doing a giveaway with them, which is that if you haven't a chance to win, this is your last chance for a giveaway. You can win a $25,000 evaluation. If you purchase a breakout prop, you get entered into a very small raffle to win a $25,000 or up to $50,000 evaluation. So definitely check that out. Make sure you use our code BKSAVE. As we said, we love breakout prop, no deposits, backed by Kraken, payouts on demand, no consistency rules. Get funded on one trade and the top rated crypto prop on Prop Firm Match. So definitely check them out.
Getting funded in one trade. I mean, crypto these days is just such a volatile asset that's probably one of the most legitimate ways to do that, right? I mean, we just simply need to pick a good trend condition. I'm going to help you guys with the dots indicator, so you can think about doing that on the breakout traders. So yeah, it's an exciting week. If there's ever a week to get funded, this is going to be the week to get funded with all the volatility coming up in front of us. So very excited to start live trading. thank you again, Kay. Any final questions for Kathy? No. Okay. So RJ, I'm glad it is. Let's hope it's you. Let's hope it's your email address. We will be sending to all of the winners. We have your email addresses. We'll be sending you the instructions and the details of how you get funded on all those accounts. So hang with us.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Kay. We'll see you. We'll see you a little bit later. Let me share my screens here. Just one sec. Something very cool, guys. This is really, really cool. I'm going to show you something super, super cool. Let me see if I do this correctly. Nope. What I want to do, I want to share this. Is this going to work? Please tell me this is going to work. Share. No, I don't want a Chrome tab. All right, hang on just one second. Let me try this. I'm going to share this. Okay, so just bear with me a sec, guys. I want to switch around to see if I could share this. Share this tab instead. Does this work? Let's see. Damn it. Oh, I got so excited and it doesn't do it. So, that really sucks. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm talking. Okay, hang on. If I go this, it's share this tab. I can't share the screen. You know what? Okay, let's try this. Okay, I know what we're gonna do. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Just bear with me. We're gonna stop sharing. I know what I want to do. Here we go. Share. I know there's a method to my madness. There is a method to my madness. Okay, share this. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so what do you guys see here? This is the cool thing I was going to show you. We get to watch both gold and NASDAQ at the same time because Chrome just came out with a tab within tab thing. Unfortunately, I can't do it by tabs, but I can do it by window. You guys seeing both the NASDAQ on the left, gold on the right, right? This is going to make it so much easier for us to see signals because I don't have to go switching back and forth between two screens, right? Give me a yes if you guys see that, and tell me if you guys like this kind of a double layout where the signals are going to be on both things. The only issue is I'm not going to be able to I'm going to have to take trades off screen on some of this stuff because but it really doesn't matter because I'm happy to switch around and show you post event because the most important part is from a visual point of view, we now have both gold. I don't have to switch around. I can narrate one, narrate the other, show you what's going on, and we can go from there, right? Yeah, Katie says she's been using it this morning. It's really, really great. It's really, really awesome. It's a new feature in Chrome. The only thing is, I wonder if it'd be even more awesome if StreamYard would actually let me, switch around from tab to tab. But alas, it is what it is. So, hold on. Let me see if this works. Maybe let me just see if this works. Maybe this is not so bad. Does this work? Oh yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay, so I actually can switch around. Oh, this is great. This is awesome. Okay, so this makes it so much easier. Yes. Okay, so it actually doesn't even handicap me. So first order of business, we are rolling. It's we're rolling to March, guys. The front month, and the way we notice, as I said, you don't have to guess. You don't have to go spend a lot of time looking at Reddit threads. Just simply go to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange website, type in NASDAQ volume, and it will tell you the front month, right? It will tell you what the front month. Front month means that everybody now is rolling into the next expiry future cycle, which is in March. Usually it starts like on the Monday before the Thursday is the expiry. This Thursday is the expiry. So on the Monday, everybody rolls around. So use the Chicago Mercantile Exchange as your reference side. I am now rolled over into NQH or MNQH6 for everybody who's trading futures. So we're now trading the March contract. Give me a yes if you see that. If you have switched yourself, I'm going to give you the chance to switch I'm going to give you a chance to switch the accounts now. MNQHH is the March contract. Okay, so that's what we're all trading. Of course, the gold has been in February for a long time, so we're trading. We've been trading gold for a while, and that's where we're at. Okay, so super simple, right? You can't trade. Ben says that you can't trade. Wow, I could. I'm trading more. Oh no! Oh! You know what? I'm not. I'm only trading gold. I'm only trading gold on wealth charts. So I didn't know this. Okay. So I guess we're gonna have to wait. Huh? How come you can't do? How come you can't do Nasdaq? I mean, okay. Let's. That doesn't seem. Doesn't make sense. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna hit Nasdaq on wealth charts. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna go MNQ March right here. What's going on? No, it's right there. Here's the March. What are you talking about, Ben? MNQ March. It's impossible that wealth charts wouldn't have the rolled month. You can absolutely trade Nasdaq. It's all you got to do is, again, look what I just did. I typed in MNQ, which is the short for micro Nasdaq, and you got to look for the March. You click the March, right? Although it said there's a star there. Is the star mean that it's not tradable? Is that what you're telling me? You want to execute. You can see, but it won't execute. Okay, all right. I'll find it. I guess it's gonna roll over next. Okay, all right. So you can still trade the December month, right? You can still trade the December month, right? So that's fine until the asterisk goes away. I guess the asterisk is going to go away after the end of today. We'll see what they want to do. Okay, we're going to go back to gold, MGCG, Feb Gold, and just keep our eye on Feb Gold in here. Okay. On TradingView, Tradeovate, it's all there. It's all rolled over, and we're good to go. So, hi everybody. So much to talk to you about today. RJ, if you want to reach us, I will. You can always reach us at contact. I'm typing it right now. At BK, this goes for everybody in the room right now. Contact bktraders.com. You ever have any questions, just email us there. We'll be happy to answer anything you want to do. So I made a couple of more improvements to the BFF dots, which I have not yet released. I'm going to release it today, but I just kind of wanted to get your feedback on it before we go, and then I wanted to show you my latest configurations of how I'm trading it, which I think you guys will find surprisingly interesting. So it's not like this is necessary, but it's kind of a nice thing to have on our dots indicator that allows you to play around with various strategies. What I did is, how we had the number of dots fixed, it was never user defined. First of all, when you go into the settings, I segregated the A setup settings into its own little group. But what I did is I gave you the optionality to choose how many dots in a row you want to see before you see a signal. So you can just see one dot in a row. So let me just show you how this would work. If I do one dot in a row and say okay, right, you'll see a whole bunch of dots, right? You see a whole bunch of dots, and it's demarcated by A1, meaning it only requires one dot to create a signal. And this is obviously going to create a whole bunch of signals. And in a strong trend, you just bang it. If you're a super strong banger, almost every single trade here going to work. Or if you want even a better idea, if you're a scale in trader, so you want to trade, then add, and just kind of build a position until you get a massive position and bust out of it, sort of a pyramid, positive pyramid into position. You can use the A1 structure to do that. The A2 structure is what I use, and it's really, really good. It's really, really good for what I like, right? And you can see That's just 2 consecutive dots in a row. That's my A2 structure. It's given me pretty much all winning signals all morning long. A couple of maybe one loser out of 7, one loser out of 8 has been my story. I hit almost all the golds, and I hit almost all the Nasdaqs to the upside, and I haven't had a chance to trade the downside yet because obviously it's the start of the session, so I've been busy with you. And then there's this final selection, which is 3 dots in a row, much more stringent, really hard thing. But what's cool about that is that's a really good. Let me show this to you on gold. That's a very good positional trade, because when you get 3 in a row, right, that signal is a super, especially if it's the first signal, it's usually the start of something big, right? It's either just a false signal or the start of something big. So it's one of those trades where if you're a person who says, I want to trade, I don't know, 4-to-1 risk reward. I want to trade, I don't know, 10-point risk, or, let's say $3 or $4 worth of risk on gold for $10 worth of profit. Like if you hit over here at 69, you actually had $15 worth of profit on the A3, the first A3 that shows up. What that basically shows you is there's 3 consecutive high momentum dots at the beginning of a trend, and that means it's either going to be a massive move, or maybe you're wrong. But because it's such a high payoff signal, you can be wrong more than 2 or 3 times and still get paid very well. So for those of you who are pure position, high risk, high reward, low risk traders, this is a really interesting construct. My thing is I am just very happy scalping my way away for high accuracy. So I'm staying on the A2 structure. But regardless of how you position it, right? It's a super easy, intuitive way for you to see the signals. Right now, like right now, we have an A2 structure showing up in Nasdaq, right? And we'll see if it holds. But if it does, it's making fresh lows. We're certainly going to trade it. I'm gonna trade it in this one account. This account is actually connected, so we'll see if this works. I'm gonna wait for a second. We have the setup. We'll see how it goes. And then once I get into the setup, I'm going to tell you one last thing that I kind of created as a rule, which will be a little bit shocking to you, but I think once you see the method behind the madness, you kind of like it. Okay, we got how many minutes, seconds? 6, 7 seconds. I'm going to wait very carefully for the close here. Okay, short. All right, I'm short here. Let's see, and it's done. In and out. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. My favorite kind of trade, and we're done on the trade. Okay, hit it, quit it, complete it, right? Okay. Okay. So is that clear to everybody? A1, A2, A3. I'm going to publish this. If you guys like it, you want to give me a thumbs up. If you like it, I'll publish this version as our latest version. I think it's very tough. It's a minor tweak, but it nothing else. All the other rules pretty much are embedded in there. But the idea to be able to have you granularly look at how many dots in a row I have is kind of cool, right? I only see one. I'm not going to publish this until I see at least 6 or 7 thumbs up. I want to see all you guys tell me that you like it. Why is this? Oh, because I'm on the A3. I'm like, how come I'm not getting signals on gold? Gold is definitely a trade. Gold is so. If I'm on a 2 signal on gold, here we go. Yeah, this one is actually would have stuffed me. I think it's 49. No, maybe not. No, I would have made it. Would have made it. Oh, I'm seeing all the thumbs up. Okay, wonderful. All right, so I'm going to publish it. I think it's going to be. I think we have range zone .2. This is going to be range zone .3 as a. Let's actually see. Let's see what the latest BFF version is. There it is, BFF dots. It's 2. So it's dot 2. This one's going to be dot 3. Dot 3 is going to have, yeah, it's going to have that little thing. All right. So the last thing I kind of wanted to share with you guys is, you know how I was very, very adamant, oh, we got to have range, we got to have range, we got to have range, right? We got to have range. I realized that if you're trading in trend, and this is the critical thing, I'm only taking trend-based trades. So I'm only taking trades to the upside when it's up, and I'm only taking trades to the downside when it's down. Range itself, not that necessary. It's nice to have, and most of the time I'm actually seeing range because you see range is green. It definitely supports my thing. What I really, really want in my settings, as you can see in my A settings, is I want the A setup. I have the 2 dots. It doesn't require fresh consecutive start. Definitely don't need that. It just requires slope. I'm just looking for slope, and I don't even require minimum range. I don't require minimum range, and it's kind of a combination between loose and hard. The tight constraint is the trend constraint. The trend constraint is the most important constraint. The range constraint wasn't as important, I thought, because it allows you to have more signals. So here's another, by the way, here's another A2 coming up on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is definitely starting to sell off a little bit. Let's see if this signal holds. 29 seconds left. We'll try to trade it again. We'll see if we can pop it again. Okay. 8-9 seconds. Let's see if this is going to work. 6, 5. I want to make sure that this thing holds at the A2. Okay, it does. I was short. And we're done. And we're done. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So another hit for us. I'm telling you, I love this sniping. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, right? Like, I mean, this is still probably a good sell because we're clearly in a cascade of selling, and if this thing holds, you know, momentum is probably going to take it down. But generally, when I hit 2 in a row and get to the third, I may lower my size, and this all goes back to like me. I like trading the first signal at large size, and as I get progressively more signals, the probability of me winning decreases. Boom, I'm short here. So this is smaller size now. I'm trading small, tiny size here. On this, let's see if I can get it done. It's probably going to stuff me, and if it does stuff me, because I'm trading smaller size, I'm losing much less on the third consecutive trade than I would be on the first. The first trade is always the biggest size. The second is the medium size. It's like the 3 little piggies. That's what I'd say. It's the 3 little piggies of the dots trading, you know, big bowl, medium bowl, and a small bowl of porridge, right? Mainly because by the time you get to the third or the fourth signal, the continuity, you know, becomes much more problematic. If this thing hits, great, it hit, wonderful. I'm glad it hit, but if it didn't hit, I was in a much smaller size. So, you know, generally what I like to do is a 3-2-1 ratio. So my first size is 3 times the size of my last size. And when you do that, and I actually ran the numbers on AI, it was really interesting. There's definitely more variance. There's more variance, meaning there's more volatility in terms of your performance, but your accuracy was pretty much the same as when you were doing the one size, and your P&L I think was almost like 190%, almost twice as large. So you made almost twice as much money by using a 3-2-1 ratio than just by using a 1-1-1 ratio, because what you were doing is you're naturally betting on a super high accuracy setup, but you're betting it on the first trade, and usually the first trade is the best trade in this trend. You could see in this case actually the first trade would have stuffed you, but that was I wouldn't have taken this because this is the opening market range. So you know it was really although maybe even here you would have made it because it was just, let me see how much volatility there was here. So this closed at 51. The low was 46. Maybe you would have made it. I wouldn't have taken this trade anyways. But the second trade worked. The third trade worked. for trade. Basically, if you give yourself that 10-minute leeway on the open to escape volatility, the rest of the stuff really works very well. Now you could just be banging on these trades. I'm ignoring a little bit of gold, but gold also had some signals for us on the other side. So, however you want to slice and dice this, whether you want to use hyper, signal generation with an A1 setting, just a single dot setting, and just plow. And then, as I said, to me, that's the best strategy for that is if you are one of those type of people that has no problem scaling up into a position. And there are people who there are guys in the room who love to do this, who have the mental fortitude to they'll take a small size, it goes their way, they add, they're very patient, they don't mind having a big drawdown against them, because when they hit the P&L, they're now at 10 size on a P&L versus me doing a 1 size on a P&L. So what strategy has NASDAQ put in place? Sorry, what does that mean? Please ask that differently. I don't understand what that question means. I'm saying there's lots of different ways to trade this with the indicator. We can trade it as scale up structure on a A1 basis. We can trade it as what I do, just pure scalping on A2. Just hit it, quit it, be super accurate, and then use, in my own personal structure, I like to use a 3-2-1 structure where I'm always largest on my first sequence trade and smallest on my last sequence trade, because obviously the very nature of the thing is it's going to eventually stuff you. It's eventually going to fail. The signal's going to fail because it's sold too much or bought too much, right? And then which indicator are you using for NASDAQ? I'm using my own proprietary indicator called BFF Dots. The only way you can get it is to become part of my coaching, which I'm just going to put up here. If you guys want to get it, I actually just a couple more people joined today for coaching. Really, really nice. Welcome aboard. We're going to do our coaching Thursday nights. Only people who are in my coaching have access to this indicator and have the ability to be able to trade with me, in lots of different ways. So, please join. The greatest thing is, this is the week. If you join today, actually, or join by tomorrow, I will give you credit back, and you can buy 4 Apex accounts for free. Apex is so cheap now. I will give you money, or you can buy Think accounts. You can buy a couple of Think accounts, or you can buy breakout prop accounts. Whatever prop you want to do, I'm going to give you money back when you join my coaching that you can then use to go buy prop accounts. Oh shoot, I'm talking. I missed the gold. All right. Well, let's talk a little. I want to talk a little bit today. I'm not going to take every single trade. The thing that I just kind of want to show. Well, there's no Telegram. RJ, there is no Telegram. This is it, my friend. We trade here. We trade here. Okay. Stop asking me 1,000 times. Oh my God. Okay, he's getting banned. Okay, we're going to ban him. He's just being annoying. Okay. Goodbye, RJ. It was nice knowing you. So now I lost my train of thought. Jesus Christ, I hate fucking annoying people who are spamming. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the variations of the dots. Yes. So I was saying, 1, you can do coaching. 2, that this is the week for you can I'm going to give you money back on coaching, so you can use it for literally free prop accounts all the time. One more setup for us on NASDAQ, guys. I mean, this thing, we're really, really extending, and you can see just how how strong the downward trend is. How much liquidation we have, about $100 worth of liquidation, although it's kind of stopping. And then I want to show you how cool the whole dots structure is for even for all of us degenerates who like to trade reversals. I actually think I have a great way to trade reversals using our trend indicator. Remember, I'm only trading trend. I'm not going to be a degenerate and trade reversals. But if I was going to trade reversals with you, I think I found a really great way of doing that. And I'll show it to you in a second. All right, let me see if that signal stays. It's a really weak signal. It would have been pretty good. I should have taken this. Sorry. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, it failed. Okay, this may be exactly what I want to talk to you about. So check this out. So I think this looks like it's a failed signal, right? It's obviously it's like the seventh or the eighth signal, right? Obviously, when you're doing probability, signal 1 is going to be high, signal 2 is going to be pretty high, signal 3 is everything is going to degrade, right? Just like radioactive matter, everything degrades. You simply can't have 20 signals and the last signal be as high probability as the first signal. Just it's against contrary nature. But look at this. This one is totally failing, right? We failed the trend signal over here, right? Clearly, just totally bouncing. So when we fail the trend signal, right? This is when I kind of want to get interested in possibly a reversal signal. The reversal signal obviously is going to be 2 dots the other way, right? And I'm not going to do the first 2 dots. I want this kind of to fail, stabilize, and not create any fresh new trend signals. And if I fail the trend and then create 2 dots after that, after a couple of stabilizations, I may have a good clean reversal, right? I'm going to Brian. I'm going to talk to Rob today. It's on my to-do list. They've had about a week to look at the code, so hopefully they'll be able to do the code. But as I was saying to you guys, I know everybody loves the range, and range is a beautiful complement to what we're doing. The thing that I realized is that the most important constraint is trend. I have range turned off. I'm ignoring the range. I don't need range to take my signal. These signals are going to generate even if the range is orange, right? Even if the range is dead, it's going to because it's trend that creates the most important constraint on the signal. The constraint that we need in order to be able to have accuracy. So while range is nice to have, it's not a gotta have. You can absolutely trade well charts right now as long as you have trend and you got the dots in your favor, right? So you see how in NASDAQ, the last trend signal failed, right? I didn't take it. I'm glad I didn't take it. It failed, right? Three dots in a row and a trend. Yes, all of that. All of that is really useful. So I promise you, before tomorrow, before we do live trading, I will have this version 3 for you guys on TradingView, and you'll be able to use it. And it should be really good. But when you're looking at gold, lots and lots of really good signals over here. Where you could have done this. Here's a good example. I think this is again, it's by no means a great reversal trade, but it's not a bad one. And the way it works is like this. So here's a gold signal at 359. I don't think it completes, so maybe it does. 359.7, 58, 9. No, you get stuffed out. This thing misses, right? And then what you're looking for is 2 greens in a row like this. You're 60.9. This one absolutely makes the $1. You see how this trade, if this is 61 point, this basically 61, it goes all the way to 62.63. It goes $2 your way. So if you wanted to trade the reversal on this one, that's the only legitimate way. Basically, the failure of trend creates the possibility of reversal. That's the only way to trade reversal, right? I don't even have reversal on my charts right now. I don't allow it so that I don't get tempted by it. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to just do this one reversal trade. But generally, the most important constraint, as I said, trend, right? Here comes another possible trend signal. If here's the first dot, if we get a second dot, we'll have possibly a trend signal trade in the NASDAQ as it tries to see if it wants to test this double bottom over here. Gold sold off very hard, found the bottom at 4,300, 42. They're not trying to consolidate. So we'll watch that. Great question. Quick question: how do you avoid overtrading? Like usually, I'm in the good profit initially start, but do the continuous trades. I start to. So I mean, I think Keith, I created this indicator specifically for you. It's it's specific. You notice me, I'm not trading at all until I get a signal, right? And the other thing that I absolutely insist on for everybody who's who's in my coaching, and you see this with me in let me show this to you in this is my funded accounts, right? This is my funded accounts. This is what I want to tell you why it's so important to trade separate accounts. So this is like, I think, what do we have, like six accounts that are funded over here. And I guess this one I haven't even started yet. We're gonna try and trade that a little bit later. This is an eval account. The point is, I trade one trade per account, and I rotate and I rotate and I rotate. So then when I get a bad hit, only one account suffers a little bit. The rest of them keep building, and I just keep rotating, By the end of the day, believe me, if I have a chance today to actually trade, because I don't know if I'll have some, this will probably be back to even, and everything else will be green, and it will just all grow. So the way you avoid overtrading is, first of all, disperse your trades amongst multiple accounts. Ah, shit, we missed a trade. Sorry. Well, I can either coach or I can trade. The way you do that is you disperse your trades across multiple accounts. The second way is obviously only take signal trades. I had a signal trade here, which we kind of missed. Sucks, but I've already made like 3 or 4 trades with you guys today. It just keeps on going. It's really, really good. Anyways, I hope I answered your question. I'm missing one more trade here. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention, guys, because I'm kind of looking at comments. But you get the idea. You're seeing the signals. Anyways, you guys like the A1, A2, A3? I think it's really, really cool. It creates almost 3 separate possible strategies for us to do. Just to show you, the power of A1s. I mean, this is insane. You'll see A1s now. If I do this, if I do the 1 dot, look at the signals. Look at this. Like if you're a pyramid trader, sell, add, cover. Like somewhere over here. You're just massively profitable using the A1s. If you're a pyramid trader, if you're a scalper, it's also done great. And if you are a positional trader, this has been a very good. I think. Let me see what the 3 dots are. But there's probably a couple of these are just very pretty good accurate signals. Accurate. This is the 3rd one already. The 3rd A3 obviously is going to have, like, if you really wanted to be sort of like the person who didn't want to have too many signals but wanted to still scalp, you could still do this on a 3-to-1 basis. You win here, you sell here, you win here, because I think this one goes 480 comes down to 74. This one definitely makes it, and this one maybe stuffs you because you're coming in at 23. No, this actually would have made it, but is clearly declines. But the way I would trade the A3s is on a purely positional basis. I'm going to take a position here with a stop maybe above the moving average, and just simply move my stop at every new A3. So like I'm in here, now my stop is over here. I would have been stopped out on the retrace over here, right? So you kind of use the A3s as a trailing stop for longer term positional ways. Really, really nice way of doing that. Just creates lots and lots of flexibility for you guys in terms of how you want to trade this, right? Neil says he likes it. Very nice. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm glad you guys find it valuable. So we'll see. It feels like you never know, because you never know how the non-farms will be tomorrow. I think, by the way, a good non-farms probably will be negative the market, right? Because the market is really right now just floating on further rate cuts, and look, we're making fresh lows. Nice. And if we get non-farms that's strong, we probably dump. Although, you know, I was under the belief that we're going to take out 25,000, and we went the other way. So, but maybe maybe I was just early. Joining for past the prop is a 6 months buy. So you buy for 6 months. If you want to then upgrade to lifetime, you can upgrade to lifetime. But that price gives you 6 months of coaching, which is, in my opinion, the minimum needed for you to get good at trading. The firms that we're using, Apex. Let me put in all the links. Apex is actually a 90% discount, a much bigger discount than I have. Then we have Think, and then, you know, Breakout Trader, which I don't have the link for Breakout Trader. But these are the two firms that we really recommend. Okay, hey, another A2. We're breaking fresh lows at the 400s. Again, remember, this one is small size for me. Where's my arrow? Small size. So if this holds, it doesn't hold. It doesn't hold. Does not hold. Okay. So this is interesting, actually. Did this fail? 23, 18. Let's actually, this is kind of cool. If you guys want to play around, I mean, we've had such a strong trend move. We know it's going to be a little bit of a reversal move. I think this A2 actually failed, meaning that this signal stopped us out. It was like one of the last signals. So now we can just play around and see, hey, can we get a reversal signal out here? Or if this thing going to generate a fresh A2 signal, then maybe, you know, maybe the trend continues. It just took a pause. But it's very cool in the way that you can, you know, you put the trend constraint on the indicator. You trade trend primarily, and then you can use that information to see when, you know, when it fails for opportunistic trades the other way, for kind of reversal trades the other way, instead of just blindly saying, oh, it's a reversal trade. You know, sometimes it doesn't work. You know, sometimes, like this, for example, this A worked fine. This could continue to trade, but now it's clearly starting to, you know, stabilize a little bit here on gold. So we'll have to see. You can purchase the indicator. We had a great Black Friday sale for that, you know, for the lifetime of the purchasing the indicator. If you're interested in doing that, it's kind of gone now. But for everybody who wants the Black Friday special price, just email me. I'm going to give you my email address. If you're interested, contact thebktraders.com. Just say lifetime. Just say Black Friday lifetime, and I will. I'll get the special link for you. Okay. So for those of you who just want the indicator, I'll get the special link for you, so you can get it. Fresh lows on NAS. Look at that. They took out the 400. It's pretty impressive. Let's see if we get another A2 signal here. Yeah, it's a great indicator. Trust me, it's like about version 1345. We've rewritten it a million times to make it better and better and better. And now it's like a precision scalpel tool. It's super good at finding entries, which is what we want it to be. Oh, it kind of died, guys. We had like all the price action in the first half hour, and now we sort of died out a little bit. See what the markets want to do as we go forward. But it's fun. Who's new in the room here with me? Who hasn't ever traded or scalped us? Oh, we got an A1. Sell. Let's see if this. Oh, super fast. And boom. Look at that. So that was a really, really interesting signal. That was a failure signal. I used very, very small size on that. I used the smallest possible size, so no harm, no foul. But that was super interesting. First of all, I think I 82. I guess it was just too fast. I actually would have made money, but I was too slow in my entry. Many of you guys may have actually won on that trade, but I'm going to assume this is kind of a failed trade on this, which means that this could be an interesting reversal trade for us if we get a reversal on this. That was crazy. Wow, look at that. We tested the 60 and we went 80 points the other way. Anybody take that trade? Or was that a little too fast for everybody and then nobody was really watching that? Yeah, it comes with a full course. It comes with a full course that explains how to use the indicator, yes. Nico says it's $10 candles in gold. Yeah, it's true. Gold is also crazy ass, but no signals for us in gold either way. Was there news? Did something happen? DRD got it because he's on a 10-second chart. Well, we can't all be on a 10-second chart, Doctor, but that's nice. How can you join my mentorship? Here's the link, Michael. Here's the link. Putting the link in there. Wow, man, that was a crazy ass reversal, huh? It looks like it was news because both gold and NAS just got pulled and then came right back. I wonder what it was. Let's see if there's anything on the news. Ooh. So Hassett is that's why. So Hassett is very, very dovish for the market, right? So he's a huge guy who likes to cut rates, and people are speculating that he's no longer going to be the lead candidate for the Fed job. So that means the Fed could be more hawkish, which is why the thing just kind of dumped and re-bumped. Now that headline is what must have really closed, right? Good job, good job, good job. All right, let's see if we're going to test the double lows here. See if they want to run this. I'm waiting for to see if I get a second dot over here on NAS. 8-9 seconds left. Let's see if we get a signal. Ooh, no, so just matched the low. Just matched the low. Did not give me a signal. That probably would have been a good trade. I had a temptation to just pull the trigger on that because that really, look at how that just creates fresh lows. Just dives to the lows. Yeah, that would have been a good trade. I think that the market looks very, very negative today, and it looks like they may not be done selling until like 11 o'clock. Let's see if gold starts to come in too. This was a tough miss. We just missed it because the candle didn't break out the lows. Watching gold, watching NAS here. "34 seconds left." Oh, gold is also showing a sell. We can actually go to my. We're going to go to my fundeds. Let's see if we can trade the gold to the downside here. If this holds, if this dot holds on gold. All right, short. Ooh, got big slippage on that move. Wow, that was a big slippage on that move. Ah, damn. We slipped it slipped us a whole dollar on that move. That sucked. Okay, I'm gonna move up the loss, the target, to see if I can get it done. It was big slippage. Just whoa. Count to my end, 23. And we're done. That was a just a high volatility move, but we did get done. So, half a loaf better than none. On Nasdaq, Nasdaq also would have worked, but I can only trade one trade at a time. I wanted to trade the gold one. Oh shoot, there's another signal on gold here that we could have taken, but I think it's already exhausted. So I will rotate back out to the 14 account. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm a little bit too late on that signal, so we'll leave that alone. But a lot, just a lot of trade signals here. Lots of volatility. You can see that if you're just focusing on the trade, you could have hit a lot of them. I wonder, like if we have a tab within tab, I'm going to play around with wealth charts. I wonder if I could trade both of them in wealth charts like this. Gold is really coming down hard here. Let's give it a shot here for. Nope. Let's see. Nope. No signal. No signal. Okay, that was a nice try. But I wonder if I'm going to try and see if I could set up wealth charts in this double think format, and then trade it that way for us as well, which might be really, really cool. Because then it can be you have NQ and GC on the same tab? Yeah. I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to set it up for tomorrow, and then we might be able to trade them both. Clean Sub says it works in wealth charts too. Yeah, it's a Chrome thing. I just really like doing it now in Tradeovate, because it's you guys can see the trades on both sides. Wow, it's pretty impressive sell-off here in the markets, huh? We went from 400 to 300, testing the 300 bottom here. Gold continues just to dump. This is so Hassett being out of the Fed chair as a rumor. I mean, obviously it means nothing, but him being out of the Fed chair is obviously hawkish for the market, because it means somebody comes in who's not a guy who's going to slash and burn rates. Let's take a look at Poly Market. I'm actually curious. Let's look at Poly Market. Poly Market. Oops. Where's Hassett? Hassett. Fed chair. Who will trump? Here we go. Oh, Hassett is down to, ooh, that's big, guys. He was at like 80. They were buying him at 73. Now he's down to 52. That's why. He's down to 49. They're just selling the hell out of him. Wow. Interesting. So that explains the dump. Hi, Pixcentra. Who's new in the room today? Say hi to me. Tell me where you're from. Another 3 funded accounts. DRD, you're on fire. Okay, DRD gets the he gets the chicken song today. It's been a while. Nobody's gotten the chicken song for a while. You get the chicken. You get the reigning chickens. Here come the reigning chickens. Nice job. Dr. D gets the reigning chickens. Nice job. Plus, you got the Rocky Balboa statue in the background. One of my favorite places in the world, the museums at the steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. I have a lot of friends in Philly. I love the place. So super, super good for you. Thank you so much. That was great. That was great. I'm glad you did well. This new version you're gonna love. This new version is literally like precision money in terms of hitting the targets. Really, really good. All right, so we kind of sold off on the Hassett news, but limping along here. Let's see what it wants to do. We are still a very, very negative trend. The spread between the 8 and 200 is really, really wide. But now it looks like we're probably going to be in consolidation mode for a little while. So we'll see if let's see what it wants to do. That's a nice, clean V-shaped rebound here on the move. Oh, nice to have you from Virginia. Where are you from in Virginia? Northern or Southern Virginia? Yeah, I think the Fed chair drama now becomes kind of an interesting backdrop to all of this. Oh, Washington D.C., man. I am a McLean, Virginia, raised and born boy. Well, not born, but raised. McLean High School. Nice. Home of the Highlanders. This is what Europeans will never understand about Americans. This is how you become an American if you truly you're an American if you know the name of your high school team, the mascot name of your high school team, which is something Europeans just can't fathom. Why Americans are so obsessed with that. But if you can recall that in your deepest sleep, that makes you an American. So that should be the American citizen test. All the Americans agree with me. That's true, right? Who can name their high school team mascot name? See? Put them up there. Put up all your names. Let's see. This is my test of you. You're not a true American unless you could give me your high school mascot name. Let's go. Aaron, look, see how fast the Americans are coming up with them? I'm telling you. Cardinals, Arrows, Tigers, Devils, Blue Devils, yeah. Westy Raiders, oh man. Panthers, Centurion, Yellow Jackets, Lancers. See how fast it is? See? You don't need the CIA. That's how I would know somebody is an American in a second. Hawks. And that's how you could you could sniff out a foreign spy. If I was doing the Russians again, the Americans, to show the Americans, which I absolutely love, that would be my telltale sign. Look at the Rams, Bulldogs. Everybody knows their high school names. Awesome. Thank you for playing, everybody. It was fun to do this on a Monday morning. We're kind of consolidating, so not much to do right now. Valdosta Wildcats. It's always either Bulldogs or Wildcats, right? You're on Wells Charts not seeing the same moves in GCG6. Why? It's just let's see what the Wells Charts is showing you. It's the same thing. You just don't have the indicator configured. This I don't have the latest version of indicator for Wealth Charts. That's all. It's still in production, but it's the same. It's the same moves. Valdosta Wildcats. Gloria, is it winningest high school football in the U.S. out of Georgia? Really? Oh, that's interesting. DRD says the Germans used how we cross our legs to find American spies. Yeah, because that's true. Like we don't cross our legs like women. We're not gay like Europeans are. That's right. Anacostia Indians. That's right. Trojans. Oh my goodness. I guarantee you got teased mercilessly for that, Judith, right? Who used to do the like when your high school team sucked, who used to do the cheer of like, that's okay, that's all right, you will work for us someday? Who used to do that cheer? We had a couple of really bad seasons. We used to do that cheer all the time. It was the most obnoxious cheer in high school football. All the Africans and the Asians and the Europeans like, what are you talking about? What kind of craziness is this? But you really can't understand America until you understand high school in America. Telling my age with that one? For sure. For sure. That's no secret. That is no secret. You haven't heard me rant about the how much I hate the Gen Z and how I think they're all like just the most useless generation ever. That's how you know I'm old. So we held 300, kind of consolidating. It's kind of interesting. Let's see market sort of absorbing news. Oh, ran the wishbone. I remember the wishbone. Oh my goodness. High school football is so much fun. We had one guy from my high school, actually in my class, I think. No, maybe he was a year younger. He went on to become a linebacker for the Detroit Lions, like a starting linebacker. So that was our one claim to fame. On the other hand, my youngest daughter now is all about performing arts. And in New York City, I shit you not, the performing arts high schools, they're all audition only. They make the Ivy Leagues look like Little League. 1,000 kids go out for 50 slots. It's insane at how competitive it is. So the most famous high school for performing arts is LaGuardia High School, which if you ever see the movie Fame, that was the about that high school. It's literally 10 blocks away from me. And the auditions for that are just insane. And like almost every movie star you can think of has gone to that high school or the other high school in New York called PPAS, where like Claire Danes, Jesse Eisenberg, all of those guys have graduated from this high school. We got to sell in NAS. We're going to take this if this holds. A2 sell at 24 seconds. We'll see if this is going to work. Let's see if it holds. This is an interesting junction because if this works as a sell, 3, 2, 1, sell. All right, I was short here. Let's see if this is going to hold for us. If this fails, this is probably going to be the signal for a reversal. So again, I'm very, very small. Look at that. It's going to fail. So this is actually super interesting. So now we actually have a legitimate signal for reversal, which I'm going to try and do if it comes up. Like I had a feeling this is going to be a failed signal because you see, we had massive selling. This is a double bottom, right? They try to test a double bottom. They held a double bottom. So now we have a genuine failed signal. So if we want to trade the reversal, let's trade it. Oh, your star quarterback became head coach for Syracuse? That's kind of cool too. But anyways, like the auditions for these schools are just insane. They have like singing, dancing, and acting separate auditions. So keep your fingers crossed, because believe me, this is when the results come in March, I will let everybody know. It's everything in my household now is geared towards this event, because she got callbacks for the auditions. So that means she's like 1 out of 50 that got callbacks out of 1,000 tried. So hopefully she'll make it. But it's I never realized like how competitive New York City high schools are on these. There are like 3 high schools in New York City: LaGuardia, PPAS, and Frank Sinatra, which are all performance high schools, like full, theaters. There, we actually went to see went to see West Side Story there the other day, and I'm not kidding you that the kids there were like, that show was Broadway quality show. That's how good the kids were. They're just unbelievable. Singing, the dancing, just ridiculously good. Their most recent big breakout star was Timothée Chalamet, but almost all the New York City movie stars you can think of have gone to one of those high schools, and a huge amount of Broadway stars have gone there too. They're like factories for the performing arts. All right, we're watching this. I kind of want to see like a double dot here. We can go see if we can do a reversal trade. Looks like we did hit we hit the bottom here. Let's see if I'm right on this. My whole let's trade the reversal shtick, and we'll give it a shot. So we have double dots here, right? Took out the 400, 36 seconds left. It's really, really popping now. The longs, they're really short squeezing the move here. Let's see if this is going to work. Again, this is the do as I say, not as I do part of the show, where I'm trading against trend, but at least I'm doing it with an intelligent tactical plan behind me. 10, 11, 8, 9. Let's see if this holds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're long. Let's see if it hits me, and we're done. See that? It didn't take long, but it was a really clean move the opposite way. and I put everything back on the board, right? So these were very tiny losses, like a 1 loss, and this was a 5 win. So a much bigger win than the loss. The reversal, we were very, very patient. This is the only way to trade reversal, when you're going to be super, super patient on a failed thing. So it's kind of cool, right? Really, really fun to do. Anybody take that trade with me? You could totally see. You totally saw that there was a massive short squeeze on the other side, and that was just like, right, swept it up. Oh, look at this! Everybody took them. Nice job. TNT Global's got 5 in a row. Good for you. Wow, nice. Look at this. Everybody swept. I think we were part of the short squeeze. We all dove in there and short squeezed this thing higher. Good for you guys. All right. I'm very, very glad that worked. It's kind of a cool little trick, right? Sort of a little side trade to the dominant trend trade that we do. Gold is nothing. We got gold is no trade. We don't have. We're trading gold and trend, and we don't really have a trend failure in gold just yet. It's just consolidating. Gold is chop. And by the way, this is like a very well, at least for us, if you're a positional trader, maybe you may just take this trade and think that it's a reversal, or you still think that this is short. It's going to test the lows. I don't have any vision on how long it's going to go to the upside, to the downside. But if you're a scalper, this is like the stupidest thing you can do, is take a trade in here. This is chop city inside a range without any clear. It's certainly no trend direction. It's doing a little bit of counter trend trading, but counter trend trades are by definition lower probability trades, with the exception of like that first counter trend trade, when you have a failure to counter trend, then you have a possibility. So I wouldn't trade this. I mean, this thing could totally come back up towards the 370s, but I don't really have a setup here. It doesn't really matter. You have to know what your setup is. You can't chase every tick. So my view is no go on this. And guys, I got to run. I just looked at the time. We did a lot of good trades today. Did a lot of good trades. I mean, it's primarily all NAS, but we also did a few trades in gold. We hit that one. Where am I? Excuse me. Which account am I in? I could have sworn I hit trades in gold. No. Oh, maybe not. It was this account. I hit trades in here. I hit trades in here. I hit trades in here. I hit trades in the 23 account, right? We hit trades in all of them. So not, it wasn't a lot of activity, but we definitely hit the gold trades. And then of course, the NASDAQ trades were all over the place. We hit a lot of them. We hit all of these to the downside, right? I got stuffed on this one. And as part of our, tactical plan, if we lose on the reversal, we went large on the other way and made more than enough our money back. So pretty good day for me, but tomorrow is really going to be the big day. Yeah, Contrand is a poison apple. That's why you only take one bite. Ah, Ben, you and I are putting together a Shakespearean sonnet over here, right? Counter trend is a poison apple. That's why you only take one bite, meaning you only take one counter trend trade, and that's all you do. So everybody likes this new version, right? So the range zone 0.3 version going to be coming out. I don't know about, don't ask me about wealth charts. Not up to me, guys. I don't run wealth charts. I'm going to talk to Rob, see what he's got, what the ETA is on that. Let's see if he can, if he can get that going. But you don't really need, all you got to do is just, fix on the 2 dots trade in trend. And as you can see, I'm trading wealth charts perfectly okay without having the, all the prosthesis of this indicator. It's just that this indicator is nice, for people who don't know anything. But if you're already, a well-seasoned trader, you could use wealth charts with this stuff perfectly okay. But I will be talking to him. We'll see what he wants to say. We'll see how he's at. A BF is becoming a scalper buffet. Scalper buffet, right? Right, exactly. That's what it is. It is a scalper buffet. Awesome. Great. All right. So I'm glad everybody had a good morning. Thank you so much, guys. 8 o'clock tomorrow. Chop. We're gonna really get serious for the pre-NFPs. We're gonna straddle the stuff. I will say this. From what people tell me, straddling only works on Tradeovate. So we're only going to straddle Tradeovate accounts tomorrow. We'll trade our well charts accounts, the real funded accounts there. But I think we're going to just straddle because apparently on well charts they blew up, like they disallowed a couple of straddles. So we're not, no need to do that if they disallow it. I mean it's a gray area anyways. But since they allowed on Tradeovate, I'm fine with it. We're going to straddle those accounts. The other cool thing is there's a couple of accounts like I have a couple of here. Let me. I can't show this to you now. Well, I think I can do this. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So you can see that in my eval accounts, right? I am like, and I'll see how far I am tomorrow. Like I'm already like $500, maybe even $1,000 by the end of the day to the target. And one of the things that I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about straddling with less points. Like you don't need 33 points to, like if you, let's say you're 1,000 to target, you only need 20 points to make the target, right? To get funded. So we may take these two accounts and use shorter targets to just create a new version of a straddle. That is, in other words, if you were pre-working your accounts and you're already net positive, you may not need to do the full 33 points to make it work. We'll do a couple of those as well, but it's kind of an interesting thing like that. Ben says it can work on well charts, but it's volatility sensitive. Anyways, it's less. It always worked for me on Tradeovate, so I'm going to use those and see if you can do that. Yeah, we're only talking about evals. We're obviously not talking about real accounts. Real accounts we trade very conservatively, like I always do. All right, let's see what's going on here. Not much. All right, we're kind of consolidating, but that was fun. Really, really good day today. Hope everybody enjoyed it. I will see everybody tomorrow, 8 o'clock. All right, guys. Over and out. Take care. Make sure you get all the accounts tomorrow. Take care, guys. Oh, well, look at this. We have an A2 coming up. Maybe we'll, maybe I'll try. Oh, we have one in gold too, both accounts. All right, you know what? Shoot, where's my thing? Oh, let me move this over. NASDAQ is holding. Gold is not. So maybe we'll trade NASDAQ a little bit. Smaller size though. Small size. Because again, remember, we're really not at fresh lows. So the trend is if the trend reestablishes itself, we'll play it. But if this is just a test of the lows, I think this is probably going to work. I'm going to take this trade. And it's done. In and out. Wham bam. I'll suppress the last part of that statement to show just how politically correct I am. But that's what it is. Thank you so much, guys. That was great. Hope you guys hit it. Everybody enjoy. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.